Alright, this is going to be the first video for Chapter 15, which deals with advertising, publicity, and sales promotion. Now, at the beginning of each PowerPoint presentation, you notice that they cover some key points. In this particular one, they're talking about 5 key points which deal with advertising spending, strategy decisions, legal issues, publicity, and then sales promotion decisions. And the first topic that they want to talk about is dealing with situations that occur when you try to advertise or promote a product internationally. Excuse me. The literacy rates that are considerably lower in other countries affect the companies and their decisions to advertise, to promote their products, because a lot of people can't read and they don't understand what is being communicated. So even things with language barriers, availability of televisions, which is a major issue in third world countries, internet access is lacking in a lot of places. Any kind of cultural and social influences that have effects on them as well could really impact and alter the strategies that companies will have in regards to promoting and advertising their products in foreign countries. Now, this slide is just simply showing some examples of how much money is spent on advertising in comparison, direct comparison, to how much money is brought in via sales and revenue. Alright, so you can just look over that. The big thing here is that there's a big variance of how much is spent on advertising compared to how much money is brought in, depending upon what type of category you happen to be in for your business. Alright, now as we're talking about actual businesses themselves, you're looking at advertising spending in comparison to the revenue that is brought in as well. So you can see what is there in regards to retail stores that are available, and you can see that some types of retailers do spend more on advertising as a percentage of sales than other types do. It's just more important for some retailers to advertise a little bit more and a little heavier than others do. Setting advertising objectives. The first thing you need to understand and remember is that any kind of objectives that are set need to be very specific, and usually the marketing manager is the one who sets the overall objective and direction of the ad itself. Position brands, I'm just going to go down through these one at a time here quickly. Position brands is where advertising can communicate the benefits of your product, your good or your service, and to try to help position the brand compared to others, your competition, in the minds of the consumers, the customers. All right, introduce new products. This is where advertising can make target markets aware of any new products that are become available and the benefits that they have to them. Obtaining outlets is when advertising can be used to tell customers where they can buy the product, okay, and try to maybe give them a little push to go there. Also a little bit of push for the outlets to be willing, more outlets to be willing to carry their product. Provide ongoing contact. Advertising sometimes is viewed as what the book refers to as a virtual salesperson, which is just reminding customers about the product, keeping them in touch with the product, kind of that reminding mentality. Support sales force. Advertising can sometimes serve as like a primer. If you ever had to start an engine, a small scale engine, and you had to prime it first, sometimes advertising can be like that primer to kind of push the sales and the sales call that might be going on from the salespeople themselves. Okay, a lot of times the salespeople actually reference the advertisements that are going on at that particular time. Getting immediate action. This is where you can use advertising to have as an announcement for some time-sensitive deals. Memorial Day sales get advertised quite a bit. Labor Day sales get advertised quite a bit. Black Friday sales get advertised a lot as well. Maintaining relationships. This is where satisfied customers can have a relationship with the company. They can like the customer service, stay in communication with them, and that is a way that they can confirm that their original purchase was the correct one. All right, on this one, we're just talking about the adoption process. All right, getting awareness, interest, evaluation, and decision, and at the very end is the confirmation. Just a couple things to point out here is the more specific the advertising objective is, the more guidance that it will provide in getting some sort of specific results, whatever those results are that you want from the customers. If you want half of the market, you want to say you want half of the market. If you want to get a 25% of the market, you list 25% of the market. What you want to check out here also is just a couple of the examples in the awareness stage. Jingles, slogans, viral campaigns, viral advertising are big ways now. In the interest stage, that's where the celebrity endorsements come into play to generate interest. The evaluation and trial, testimonials are big. What one person says who has used the product, why they like it, why would they buy it, why would they recommend that you buy it. The decision, this is where they can have sales and deals to entice you to buy it, to get you to actually purchase the product. And then the confirmation would be the reminder ads. Don't forget about our products. Those happen on a regular basis as well. Advertising allowances versus cooperative advertising. Sometimes producers want advertising efforts to be handled within the channel of distribution. Retailers might, in the other way, retailers might depend upon the producers to provide support for advertising. So these two things are ways of looking at that. Advertising allowances are simply deductions or reductions in pricing to companies within the channel of distribution that will encourage those wholesalers and retailers to promote the product. All right, so the producer is giving a discount, in essence, a price reduction to the wholesalers and retailers in order for them to promote their product a little bit more heavily than others. Cooperative advertising is just simply where advertising costs get shared with the producers, the wholesalers, and the retailers. This helps the producer to get a little bit more promotion for their advertising dollar, a little bit more bang for their buck, and it helps the intermediaries to compete on more of a local basis, so they can advertise locally instead of just nationally. Different types of advertising. Two main types are product advertising and institutional advertising, and then product advertising is broken down into three subcategories as well. Institutional advertising is where you are trying to advertise or promote the image of the company. This is their image, their reputation, how they are perceived in the eyes of the customer. The product advertising is where you try to promote and sell a product. It can be geared at customers, it can be geared at different outlets or members of the channel of distribution as well. The key types of product advertising are pioneering, competitive, and reminder advertising. Pioneering advertising simply is a way to get primary demand for a category rather than a specific brand. So when a product is introduced for the very first time, you try to get the idea of the whole brand new idea approved through by the customers, instead of just pushing your individual product. You want digital cameras get introduced, you want people to understand the benefit of just digital cameras and how that can benefit them and make their life easier, rather than just your company. Competitive advertising tries to develop demand for your brand. Okay, now you're going into your company's product, your brand, and you have to make sure that you are pushing yours, not just the whole category. You have direct and indirect, which is what we're going to be talking about, and you also have what's called comparative advertising, but we'll take those the next couple slides. Also, reminder advertising just tries to keep the company's name before the public, tries to keep the products in the minds of the customer as well. Now here's the competitive advertising. You have direct type and you have indirect type. Direct type of competitive advertising it has a goal of trying to get that immediate buying action. You want them to buy it, you want to complete that sale. Indirect is where you are trying to give them some advantages, some pros as to why they should consider your product, especially for future buying decisions. It's not immediate, but it's something that is going to be for the future. All right, institutional advertising. Remember, this is all about the company. We're focusing on the company itself. So in this one, institutional advertising usually focuses on the company name. It focuses on the company prestige, their image. It may try to be used to inform people about the company, to persuade people about their company and what they're doing and get them on board with their company, or just remind them that the company is still around, we still are in existence, and we're still making the products as well. A number of companies do try to use this to develop goodwill. They tell them how they're going to be donating to charitable organizations and helping the environment and doing all that kind of good stuff that makes them look good as well. All right, checking your knowledge. Television ad for Target encourages consumers to go to their nearest Target store for a big end-of-season sale coming up in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. This type of advertising is, okay, so look through your choices. I would say that the best option here is D, the direct. Okay, the direct, because it is demand for a specific brand. Okay, so you're looking at Target specifically. And the immediate buying action, I know it says coming up in 2 weeks. That is still considered short term, and I would go with the direct competitive because that's still considered immediate buying action, because the ad is for all of Target, and the ad is trying to promote you to buy something at that particular time. So it's not just a pro or a con, but they're trying to get you to have that immediate buying action. All right, in this one here, Community Bank sends an advertisement via direct mail to several thousand customers quoting special low financing rates on new vehicles for a limited time only. The ad names some other financial institutions and shows their respective loan rates. Community Bank promises to beat any rate offered for a comparable term. This type of advertising is, okay, look at your options here. All right, and the key here is that Community Bank is comparing their rates to the rates of other financial institutions, so that would then be C, comparative. And that's the end of video 1.